Google has added Gemini into their workspace and in their apps, but is it actually useful? I put it to work to see where it saves time or where it just gets in the way. Have they finally cracked the connectivity between their apps? This video will give an overview on how Gemini connects to each, and I'll post 2 more videos after this one that goes into more detail on how each performs with Gemini. So in order to connect your apps, you can buy 2 tiers of subscriptions, basically. You've got the Google AI Pro and you've got the Google AI Ultra. The Google AI Pro is the competitor of ChatGPT Plus, for example. It's at $20 a month and it gets you more access to the 2.5 Pro model with limited access to their new video model, more credits, AI credits, Notebook LM Pro, Gemini and Gmail, Docs, and other apps like I'm going to show. You also get more storage within the Google Drive, 2 terabytes worth of total storage, which is actually impressive. You also have the Google AI Ultra. You do get everything in Pro, plus things like YouTube Premium, Project Mariner, which is a beta project that they're going through, plus 30 terabytes of storage. Most people, I don't think you need it unless you're a business, and then maybe it's worth it for you if you're going to focus on using Gemini. If you want to know more about how to use Gemini in the main platform, I posted this video on how to do so. The link is in the description of this video and at the end of the video. So once you subscribe to Gemini, you go down to your bottom left here and click Settings, click Apps here. You need to switch on the connectivity to the Google apps, to the Google Workspace. So that includes your Gmail, your Google Docs, your Drive, your Calendar, and Google Tasks. If you see it's off, switch it back on, click Connect, and there are other apps that Google provides that you might not need. So for example, Google Flights, I don't need that, so I switched them off. Google Maps, yes, why not? I won't go over that app, but you can literally talk to it and say, hey, how do I get to this destination, this street? Another thing it connects to is YouTube. So for me, obviously, it's very important. The ability to literally watch and transcribe and get information out of YouTube videos. Very useful if you're learning a lot from YouTube. YouTube Music as well, it can connect to. Again, useful more in the mobile rather than the desktop. The next thing you want to do is go into your Gmail in the settings. So the top right here, you've got the gear icon, so settings icon, and click See All Settings and scroll down until you see Smart Features. Make sure it's turned on. So turn on smart features in Gmail, Chat, and Meet. Also Google Workspace smart features. Click Manage Workspace smart features settings and make sure the smart features in Google Workspace and Google products are switched on. Click Save, and now you're good to go with your connectivity of Gemini to your workspace. So now that we're in Gmail, at the top right here, you've got the Gemini logo, the icon. When you click on it, you get the chat window to Gemini, similar to your Gemini platform. And what it can do, if you see here, there's a button that says, what can Gemini do? It'll answer that question. You can summarize email threads. So if you get a long email or you get a batch of emails, you want to summarize them quickly, understand what's in them quickly, suggest responses. So you can ask it to draft an email here inside the chat that you can then copy and paste into a new email. Find information, which is very useful. So normally you have this search bar in your Gmail. It's not as efficient. Sometimes you're searching and you're not quite finding the information you want. Here you can literally say, hey, can you find out what that email that Bill told me about such and such? It'll go through the inbox and search for that information. You can connect it to the calendar. So if you get an email that's asking for a meeting at a certain time, or someone's offered you 3 different time slots, you can choose one and say, okay, Gemini set me on a meeting with this person in my calendar at this time slot. Use the @ sign. You can see I can connect to my calendar. You can also connect to other files on your Google Drive. In addition, if I click the @ sign, I can select Gmail, and now I have access to Gmail through the Gemini platform. So basically, I've got 2-way connectivity with Gemini in 2 different platforms. Next up, let's look at Google Drive. What can Gemini do in Google Drive? Summarize documents and folders, discuss topics. It can synthesize information from 1 or more files in your drive to help you discuss a topic. Retrieve quick facts. That's true and not true at the same time, but you need to just try. There's a bit of trial and error here. Sometimes it's able to extract the information, sometimes not. Generate content based on files on or the web. So yeah, you could ask it to create that content for you. Generally, I found that Gemini in Google Drive isn't as helpful as the other apps. I couldn't find like summarizing the documents here. Why would I do that here? Why would I not do that in the Gemini platform? Where I see its potential use is if you're sharing folders with your colleagues or your friends and family, and you have files keep coming into those folders, you can interact with them, at least talk to those documents and those files coming in through the chat, so you can summarize them quickly or understand what's coming in, maybe even draft some responses here. But that's the only kind of general use I see for it. Moving on, let's look at Google Docs. And it's a video script about Gemini. I just thought I'd create this. What you can do here is a bit more advanced and much better than it used to be, and quite helpful. Click on What Gemini Can Do button here. It can write and refine content. You can ask it to refine content based on what it sees here on the doc. Summarizing, it can summarize documents. It can summarize sources that you give it, so that you can add it into the document. I'll go into more detail of these apps, of course, in another 2 videos. Creating images, so you can ask it to generate, like this image here is generated by Gemini. Not amazing, but at least you can generate new images. You don't have to go to stock images, especially if they're temporary and you just want to populate it, make it look nice. Reference other files. Like the other apps, just click the add sign and you get to access other app documents. If you've got sheets or other Google Doc files, and you want to use the information from them to bring it into here and summarize them and create little paragraphs about them and source them, you can do that here by accessing them and then prompting Gemini. So for example, connect it to that Google Sheet and say, pull out data from column E to help write a summary of our goals. What I liked about Google Docs, when you create a new file, ask Gemini to help you create a new document based on prompt. So you could literally say, hey, I'm writing an article about how shoes are made in the US. Literally just tell it, okay, I want to outline based on the executive summary, the process of building a sole, building the upper, give it a basic outline, and it'll build that for you so that you can quickly now start writing and filling information. It should do that for you with the chapters within the tabs set up for you. In addition, within the paragraphs themselves, you can refine to kind of use Gemini to enhance your writing inside the document and not just using this side chat window. So I'm going to discard that. So you're not constrained only to the chat window. Okay, so next up, if we look at a Google Sheets, this is a Sheets that I did for an automation tool for a client. You've got your chat window, enlarge it a bit, and you can generate a chart or analyze for insights. It also connects to your Google Gems. I can get a Gemini gem to perform a certain task, specific task set up in advance, so it's more automated. What it can do is similar to the others. Summarize, analyze the data or the information that's in your sheets, edit them or draft ideas and elements in there. For example, I have this spreadsheet of an email list that I've built. If I want to analyze this data, I can click on it and it'll open up this chart, this window, and tell me what it sees from the data of the whole spreadsheet. And I can then prompt it and say, okay, can you focus in only on column E or column F? It can build me graphs. These graphs are just images. They're not adjustable. They're not dynamic. Just know that you've got an AI able to analyze data and access spreadsheet information. Additionally, you can call up, again, using the @ sign, other sheets, other information, other docs, and call that information in if you want to use it into your sheet here. They all can do that now. And they can all talk to here on the Gemini platform, as I explained in my previous video, the ability to work with these apps. So next up, let's look at Google Slides. You can ask it to generate imagery and slides for you, but you can do so only one at a time. You can't, unfortunately, and this is a limitation of slides, you can't say to it, here's an outline for a presentation of 10 slides, 10 pages. Can you generate each page for me? If you populate it with enough information, hoping to get nice imagery and everything designed. It's not as automated as I would like, but you can put in or create a slide here and at least get new imagery. So that's an AI image generated from the information that I've given it from a document that's in my Google Drive. So I went into here and selected this PDF, and I said to it, can you create a slide from page 1 of this PDF? And it created this with including the image. And I can now go in and say, okay, let's regenerate that. Then if I want to generate the page 2, I call on this PDF again, and I say, can you turn page 2 into slide here? It's not there yet, but at least you now have an AI assistant within your Google Slides that you can work with. If I click new, unlike Docs, I can't say, hey, AI, can you build me a slide from this an idea or this story that I want to tell? So other additional applications that they offer, they have Google Vids. If I ask you for a new video, I can say, plan your video story, just kind of give it a basic script. Say, okay, I'm going to do a video about presenting a new product that I have. It should generate an outline for a script, just like it did here for me, where it even creates dialogue.
Ever wondered about the difference between working with and without AI assistants? Let's take a look. Imagine starting your day with a mountain of work.
So you can see it generated a script. I didn't type anything. I didn't create anything. I didn't film anything. What it looks like happened, because it happened quite quickly, it took stock footage that they have access to and the rights to. Out of the script that it created, Gemini, it generated the voiceover. So it's an AI voiceover that then connected and edited with stock video. But you can generate video clips here. It seems like a nice little tool that, if you're creating quick videos and you just want to kind of brainstorm ideas with it, then might be an interesting kind of video editor that uses AI to test it with. I wouldn't work this way personally yet. It's coming. This ability to work with AI to create video and just kind of edit and vibe script with it, so to speak, that's coming. So this application is there as part of the subscription that you paid for. So is it worth it? Arguably, OpenAI and Google are leading the way. Obviously, there are going to be people saying, but Claude's model is way better, or look at what DeepSeek are doing, and Quen and Perplexity. People love their toys and love their tools. They're all really, really good models. It's just as companies, as platforms, ChatGPT was the first in. As a whole, Google are offering, as we can see here, a workspace that's starting to evolve in such a way that AI is built into it. The question I asked earlier in the start of this video, have they solved the connectivity issues between the apps? No. I just really, at the end of the day, it's only the start. There's a lot to fix, a lot of where you don't really need Gemini and places where you do need it and you wish you had it. I just think that they have a lot of work to do to get the apps really performing with AI as a full-on assistant sitting there by your side. But is it worth the subscription? At $20 a month, if you're getting 2 terabytes of data that you can store through your Gmail, through your Google Drive, getting access to one of the top models in the world right now. Google have YouTube, Google's Google. They have all this environment and these resources that it's only just going to keep getting better. So at $20 a month, I think it's a no-brainer. I think it's worth it. Is it good for the business, more expensive version? If you're using the applications and you're heavy on the app and the environment of Google, yes, if you're a business, I think also it's quite worth it. So that is my general review. I'll go into more details of how Gemini performs in each app in my next 2 videos. So I hope you find this video useful. Watch out for those 2 videos on going deeper into Gemini in the apps. In the meantime, if you like the video, click the like button. Do subscribe to my channel for more AI tips and tricks. And if you want to see how Gemini performs in the Gemini platform, how to use it, click on this video link here. Or if you want to see how Google AI Studio works, click on this video here.